victorious, speaks aloft of the moon of darkness. That's right, in the transformation chamber itself, seated on a throne of evil, dwells none other than Mon Star, the kingpin of the Limbo Mob, the enemy of the Silverhawks. Let's check out him and his throne in this review.
Super Dave here with another review.
Yes! Yes! Give me your power!
And we're going to take a look at the throne. And of course, Mon Star himself in all of his glory. 3 head sculpts, whole bunch of accessories, looking menacing. Check out Mon Star, the Limbo Mob Kingpin, as well as his massive throne. So cool. And so are their presentation. There's the animation of Mon Star, his just amazing looking foil box. There's his bio if you'd like to pause and read that. And then the presentation of that throne with him seated there. Just absolutely awesome. Very neat. So now let's take a look at them outside of the box right now. And first looking at Mon Star's accessories. First taking a look at his hands. He comes with 2 clawing hands, a left and a right, open palm clawing looking hands, as well as a left and right. All of these are horizontally hinged, and the pointer finger hands here, as well as his balled up fisted, tightly fisted hands. And then he comes with 2 right hands that are specially designed. One with the fingers more clenched in, and then one where the claws are more aligned there, so that he can hold whatever it is he holds. Interesting. And then he comes equipped with 2 more closed clawing looking hands, both also horizontally hinged. So there are all of his hands. And then his 3 head sculpts. This calm, more stoic head sculpt. Then a head sculpt with his open mouth. And then one where he is yelling and opening up his eye patch, ready to absorb the powers of the moon. Star, and he is menacing looking there. And then he comes with his little sky shadow figure, one where he's kind of in his cocoon form, or kind of balled up in his shell there, so to speak. You can see his little claws and his mechanical feet and his wings kind of folded in, but then also with him unfolded, his tongue out, his wings spread out, and his tail whipping around back there, just looking, you know, in his full posed out form, and the little claws on his toes there. So that is cool. And then of course, last but not least, and it is sold separately, you have his throne. And what an amazing throne it is. Also look at the side of it here. Look at it from the side. Just neat how those almost giant pipes almost look like they come out of the floor and go around the back, and then the design on the back. Just really neat looking, techno, almost metal looking, with scarring and, you know, a lot of details and a really nice black wash going on there. Just looks so cool. And we'll of course take a look at him seated in this in just a moment, but first let's look at his articulation. Bringing our Mon Star a little closer here, the head sculpt is pretty disappointing because it does not, as far as the articulation. They look awesome, but all three pretty much have the same limitations. I tried to see, even with this one being, it had this whooshing hair off to the side, if it would help any, but not really. He'll look down about that much. He will not really look up at all. It hits the back of the hairpiece back here, but he will move side to side. But when you do, it's going to make his head go down a little bit because of the hair. Then if you go this way, same thing. You're going to be able to go that far, and it's going to make him look down. You cannot look sideways. It's gonna make it go down. So in order to look sideways, you're going to have to use the diaphragm to turn like that if you want to look sideways, and you do get some of that here. You're going to get just a slight bit of crunching forward, just a slight bit bent back, not really much, just more or less looking straight ahead, good posture, so to speak. But it will turn and get a little bit of side to side motion there. And you do get a little bit of swivel at the waist, but not a tremendous amount. It's not going to go all the way around. If you put the two together, you might be able to get about that much. So you can see that. But as far as the arms, you get those Ultimates single jointed elbows, bicep swivel, and elbow swivel like we've seen before. He's not really going to be able to go up much because of these shoulder pads and spike thing. It's only going to be able to go up about that much, and then on this side again about that much. So really limited there. Even if you were to turn the head, or even take the head off for that matter, you see you're still not going to be able to get any further than that right there. Pop the head back on here. All of his hands, as we've mentioned earlier, are horizontally hinged and swivel. And this fisted hand has a little bit of a slant to it, but it's still horizontal. It's not vertical. Still a slight slant compared to the others. Then he's going to be able to get full splits with the legs. It's kind of odd to notice that he has the loincloth, the furry loincloth, kind of like He-Man figures do, except that the abdomen comes over top the fur cloth area instead of being underneath and having a belt like we're typically seeing. This is a soft rubber, but this is a hard plastic. So that's one of the reasons you don't get too much swivel at the waist. All right. He does have a swivel at the thigh. He's going to get single jointed knees, which get better range than what we have seen. And again, that knee swivel. He's going to be able to get full tiptoes there with that foot, clawed foot, almost like a Skeletor looking foot. He's going to be able to go up slightly and then get generous rockers at the ankles plus the peg hole at the bottom. So pretty much our typical articulation that we expect with Ultimates. There's always seemingly some limitations, and this one may have a little bit more than some, but overall you're going to be able to get some good poses with him. He's really cool. Now let's do some comparisons. And here we have a comparison of our Mon Star sitting in his throne, and then Shao Kahn sitting in his throne, and Skeletor, the Masterverse Skeletor, sitting in his throne. That's the New Eternia Skeletor with the Classics head, and that is the throne from the Super 7 Snake Mountain. But they are all three looking awesome in their respective thrones, looking cool. And just from the standpoint of curiosity, I think Mon Star looks good in Shao Kahn's throne, and I think that Shao Kahn looks good in Mon Star's throne. They certainly fit each other, and there's many different mixtures that we could do with that, so that would be cool. Yep. And I thought Mon Star's throne might look good with Hordak in it. That's the Masterverse Hordak. And I think, you know, you can make it work. It is a tad big, but that techno-looking throne like Hordak would sit on it kind of reminisces to that, I think, in this setting. It's kind of cool. And then here's Mon Star next to Hammerhand. That's a Thundercats action figure, but and villain. But you can see they look pretty good together. He's shorter than Mon Star, but it looks good. 2 Ultimates by Super 7. And then if you want to slide Mon Star on over here beside our Masterverse Revelation Skeletor with a Hordak MX head sculpt, I think that they look good together. Mon Star, because of that hair, still is larger, but you see they both have claw feet, and they're both villains from the 80s. And so they look cool together. I think it looks neat. There's little Sky Shadow with Mon Star and Skeletor looking awesome beside Mon Star there. And here is Mon Star alongside of a Marvel Legends figure. There's my customized Lady Deathstrike. I just painted her outfit silver, but you can see the difference there. You can make it work. Just Mon Star is a monster. He's big. And there is Windhammer next to Death Star, which we reviewed if you'd like to check that out. And he's definitely looking awesome next to his boss, Mon Star. Cool deal. Come back and see us soon for another Super Dave review. And please like, subscribe if you've not done so, and comment if you have something to share, and we'll see you back next time. Here's some photos in the photo gallery.